Oh, the window's fixed. Newly replaced glass shining in the morning light. You hear traffic outside, back in the world again. Oh my god, I was so... Fuck, that was intense. That was so intense.
The bed's a little nicer now.
What are we doing here? We're not in this room anymore. The stereo 8 player has been reunited with its right speaker. Look, the door is open. You can walk right into Kim's room. Ooh.
The bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. You see the reflection of your face in the mirror, even now adorned with the expression.
Ruby killed herself. Electrochemistry. Let's see if clothes will help. I don't want to put a full point in electrochemistry, you know. We have a lot of electrochemistry on.
The bathroom mirror has
42%.
been wiped completely clean.
Alright,
You see the reflection of your face in the mirror.
Okay, now if my theory is correct, we should pass this because we've met all the requirements. Know the origin, no more steam, Ruby killed herself. I don't know why that. Alright.
It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
Let the mirror be for now. Okay.
The bathroom mirror has been...
Okay. Alright, let's put our clothes back on. Oh, we get to go to Kim's room. Medicinal supplies on the cupboard. Okay. The alarm is set for 6:50 a.m.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night.
Thank you for keeping this thing alive a little longer. I'm such a burden, I should just fuck off. I saw apocalyptic visions of the darkness, behind darkness, behind darkness. I thought I was dead for a moment. Thank you for keeping this thing alive.
It would have been easy were it not for my concussion. We both got lucky, considering the odds we faced. Let's go?
Fucking hell. I can't believe we survived. Fuck. Ouch, that leg hurts. Maybe if you don't run, it'll be okay. God, that was intense. I don't know what to put our point in now. Looks like she's left something on the table.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. A few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs.
A gift?
The lieutenant turns to the staircase suspiciously, looking for any signs of another presence in the shadows above. What could this gift be? Seems she left in a hurry. What could this gift be?
I am not drawing my gun, yet. But I don't like gifts.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively toward his holster as he studies the note. Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
Seems she left in a hurry.
It's hardly surprising.
The medicine cabinet is empty. Not even a toothbrush. Pity.
She really cleaned this out.
She certainly had her priorities straight when she was packing.
I was kind of hoping the gift would be in here.
I always took you for more of a drunk than a chemical abuser, Lieutenant Hefreiter. Should we go?
Oh my god, Kim. A red thread made of nylon. It leads out of the room and onto the roof. Alright.
This window is pristine, at least on the inside. A red thread has been taped to the glass using adhesive tape. It trembles ever so slightly in the cold wind.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
Yeah. The lieutenant tests the thread with his finger, drawn taut. It rebounds instantly. Run your finger across the surface of the glass.
The glass is cold from the air flowing in.
Visual calculus, what happened here? You've heard what happened. Got shot, angry. Red thread shows trajectory.
No,
What?
we're not failing this. You didn't get shot for nothing. Close your eyes and open them. You can do this. You've done it before.
Look around.
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. The red thread bisecting the room shows the trajectory of the bullet.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Where does the thread lead?
Maybe if you extrapolate all possible points of origin first, the thread will make sense.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A, the roof.
Ruby ruled this out vehemently. The shot would have been heard from downstairs, where no one heard it. The likelihood of A prime has fallen drastically. You may be looking for a sniper.
Yeah, it could be a silencer. I know that silencers don't make a gun totally silent, but it could have been loud, you know? There's music, maybe karaoke, you know?
The shot had to come from a greater distance, beyond A prime. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinaise?
Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinaise.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Have a look at point B prime, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. This would explain why no one heard the gunshot. The bullet came from far away.
Have a look at point B double prime, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Have a look at point B triple prime, the islet.
1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 8B and 33A. The angle would have been extreme and access to the islets is questionable, but it is a possibility. Then there's the thread the witness left. She did have a first-hand view of the event. Perhaps she found something in the outer reaches of her memory of it. You need to inspect it again.
I extrapolated all the points of origin. Now, where does the thread lead?
It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof. B triple prime. The island in the bay.
Is she trying to tell us the shot came from the islet? How did she know how to do this?
She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass.
She had a long time to think about it after, standing on that roof, staring at the glass.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her?
I just don't know.
Indeed. Neither do I.
He's used to knowing who to trust. This makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too. Is she trying to tell us the shot came from the islet?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the threat seems to point.
There are ruins on that islet, a sunken sea fort. I saw it through the coin-operated viewer.
I remember.
He looks out the window and onto the bay. This is also one of the few places in Martinaise we haven't been to.
So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
You seem unenthusiastic. Maybe we need to go to the island. Yeah, that's not gonna work. There must be something else we've missed. Maybe we need to go to the island. The wind blows in from the open window. The lieutenant sighs, looking into the cold distance across the water.
He is trying to justify it to himself. The lead is flimsy. You might as well go around Martinaise looking under every rock and talking to every person. But what else is there?
I don't have anything to say. This is just something we have to do, Kim. What else is there? Kim, let's go to the fucking island. I'm going to the island. Are you in? Actually, yeah, let's not go to the island. What else is there?
Not a lot, no.
I don't have anything to say. This is just something we have to do.
I understand.
Kim, let's go to the fucking island.
Okay, let's go to the fucking island.
He takes a second to gather himself, then says,
How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone.
Lillian, the net picker, she's tarring her boat. I have no idea. Don't we have a boat?
Ah, yes,
Lillian.
of course. The village. Let's go.
Leave. We didn't even get to go on our date. Fuck. I want to go out. The thread is tied to the antenna. Alright, anything else here? Alright, we have 2 points. Fuck, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to fucking do. I feel like I want to do one of these. We should probably do perception too. Alright, let's just do it. I'm glad Titus didn't die.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you.
I did, thank you. Big improvement. It could have used more work after all. I just took a bullet for this place. You did? I was too distracted to notice. I did, thank you. Big improvement.
You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire. I give credit where credit is due, and that, sir, was a nice shot. I was watching until you hit him. Crawled inside then. Bullets started flying. Anyway.
He really wants you to realize that he was also on the balcony looking by, in the danger zone, so to say.
I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, the drinks are not. It just felt I needed to specify that.
Where did everyone go?
Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business.
What happened to the man with the sunglasses?
I don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Must be a fad.
Okay, so I have to mention, when it happened, you were right out there on the balcony.
Yeah, I was, yeah. That's because I'm a badass.
It really took courage. Don't pick at him.
Yeah, I guess you are a badass. If you say it as two different words like that, it sounds like there's something wrong with your ass. Just nod stoically.
He nods back at you, even more stoically. Just two badass men nodding stoically. Make that 3. The lieutenant is nodding too, hands crossed.
Alright, thanks.
No problem. They'll come back. They always do.
Shit.
Seeing you approach, the bruised man raises his bear in welcome.
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in you. But I guess I've misjudged a lot of people lately.
He yelled them to protect us. To protect the cop he's down, or whatever it was that he said.
That was one hell of a shot. Hell of a shot. The fucks did not expect that.
He looks at you with unmistakable respect.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is, thank you for intervening, fellas. That was mighty brave of you.
He extends his hand.
This is big. It's as big of a thank you as Titus Hardy can muster under any circumstances.
Shake it. No need to thank me, just doing my job. Shake his hand and nod in silence. Don't shake. Look, I need to talk to you. Actually, I just... Shake his hand and nod in silence.
Now, how can I help you?
His grip is strong and friendly. I'm sorry about the people you lost.
Dio was old. I think he'd be pretty happy with the way he went. Never could imagine him withering away on a sickbed. But Angus, he was just a stupid kid. Didn't realize the mess he'd gotten into. Trusted me. Still, the balls on that kid. Went down fighting for someone else's shit like a fat, angry bear.
Here it comes. The last one is the worst one. He only deals with it by drinking copious amounts of 8% beer.
And Glenn was my friend. Best I've ever had. I'd love that crazy homo like my own brother. We're all fucked without him. But what do? This job is shit.
Hold on. What about that Shanky fella?
Dennis, you saw him run. He's a mean little shit and I never trusted him. He'd better run real fast now. Real fast.
They were good people. I'm sorry it went like that.
Well, yeah. Memento mori. Right.
Memento mori, or remember that you must die, is a slogan various religious orders have thrown around since the dawn of mankind to emphasize the vanity of earthly life and the transient nature of all earthly pursuits. In essence, it means one should live virtuously in this life to live better in the afterlife.
I'm not sure that really applies here. Yeah, totally. What does that mean?
It means you might die tomorrow. So live every day like it's your last. Ain't that right, fellas?
Absolutely. Today, I'm going to get drunk, eat good food, and bed a good-looking girl. 'Cause tomorrow, a motor carriage might run me over.
Or you might die of a heart failure or syphilis.
Hey, fuck you for ruining a beautiful idea.
What's going to happen to the Hardy Boys now?
First, we're gonna find Dennis.
I'm going to find Dennis. I'm going to find him, and then I'm going to kill him.
The tone of the statement is so matter-of-fact. It's as though he were talking about picking up a morning newspaper on his daily walk around the block.
That's not going to bring back frontier justice. I like it. Your guy, your responsibility, do what you feel is right. Well, I'm just going to say that.
The lieutenant shakes his head, but doesn't say anything. Go ahead then. Maybe they'll only break his legs.
We're hunting that rat down. Let it be known what happens to cowards. And then...
He thinks for a moment.
I guess I'll take a closer look at our union members. There's bound to be some ambitious fellows there who'd love nothing more than advancing social democracy by busting some heads.
Might even ask Tibbs if he's tired of replacing windows, and maybe wants to have some fun with his brother. Anyway, don't you worry. As long as Titus Hardy's standing, there will be Hardy boys.
He's right. The numbers are replaceable. In an organization of thousands of men, there are plenty who'd join.
Do you know what happened to Klaasje?
Don't know.
Klaasje.
Don't care. I'll be glad if I never see that fucking woman again.
Even after all that hell, he's still bitter about her?
Titus, after all we've been through, level with me. You really liked her, didn't you? Same here, man. Yeah, you really liked her, didn't you?
Nope.
He did.
Okay, got it.
He nods and takes another sip of whiskey.
Any idea what I should do now?
Judging by the sight of you, I'd suggest crawling into bed with a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a big tit in the other.
Yeah, go pay Monica a visit in Janro. She's got a knack for making men forget about their worries. Biggest pair of milkers in all Revachol.
Hell, you both look like you could use some feminine company right now.
Thank you for your advice, Eugene, and you too, Alain. I do always appreciate a good use of the expression milkers.
It sincerely amuses him how hard these guys typecast themselves.
You're welcome, Bina Claude. You're all right in my book.
So long, fellas. Be good so I don't have to come back here again.
Take care, coppers. You two look after yourselves now. Death passed on you today, but men don't get that lucky twice.
Copo loco. And normal cop, I guess. Good luck in Shamrock. Scars made the best tattoos, they say.
Thanks for getting involved, guys. Not a lot of cops would step into that line of fire, but you did.
And if you ever feel like the uniform is holding you back, I've got a few vacancies. You'd make one hardy boy, copper.
And Titus Hardy himself would make a good officer. That man was born to lead.
The RCM could really use a man like you, Titus. Think about it.
I will, capo. That's a promise. Now scoot, because the Hardy boys got some mourning and drinking to do.
Take it easy on the drink. The danger has not passed. This town needs you on your feet.
Good point, Bino Claude.
Bino.
We'll keep the vol under 12% tonight.
Are you a La Puta Madre peon? Ruby said you were a notoriously corrupt cop, La Puta Madre's peon. That's why she was scared of you when you had the chance. Call your station to find out more if you dare. To be honest, when we were talking to Ruby and the topic of the La Puta Madre come up, I kind of zoned out. I was finding it really difficult to pay attention because I didn't. It was hard for me to buy that this whole conversation was taking place while we were literally under such torture. It distracted me. It was very distracting. So I think I ended up saying something I didn't want to say. I think I admitted to being an agent or a part of that group, which is probably why she, oh well, what the hell is this? Oh, that's scary. Another drink.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil.
Oh. One day I will return to your side.
This was Cindy the Scar.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought. Looks like Cindy the Skull finally found the words for her masterpiece. I smell heavy fuel oil. Looks like Cindy.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
I smell heavy fuel oil.
And blood. Some of it is even yours.
What?
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable?
What are you trying to imply, Fingers? No. Bad idea. What are you trying to imply?
You could buy some smokes, light up a ciggy and throw it in there. You know, just to see what happens. See if it's flammable. It's better that way. Safer.
Leave. Shit. Alright, so those guys are gone. Do you have anything new to say?
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive?
Alive and limping. I've been better. It hurts like hell, man. I've been better.
Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but I heard it was quite the encounter. Had a strong sense of finality to it. So what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local union muscle were behind it all. I'd reckon the case is closed, even if it kind of turned into a shit show.
Yeah, the case seems kind of done. Gonna check on a few last things. I'm still looking around, loose threads to tie up. It wasn't the local union muscle, by the way. I'm still looking around, loose threads to tie up.
Good luck with that, my man. Ain't easy being you, but hey, you're still breathing, right?
By the way, you're not angry with me anymore? Right, a few questions before I go. Yeah, you're not angry with me anymore?
Fuck it. I'm a bad guy now. There's things more important than holding a grudge. It's okay. You've been through enough.
You're childish.
We are what we are. And you're a cop.
Right, a few questions before I go.
Shoot. Sorry, man. Didn't mean it like that. Ask away.
I met the lady driver on my investigation. She's called Ruby. Yeah, by the way, that woman that you protected, that you really didn't want to give up, yeah, I found her. She's dead now. Tell me more about this strike. Oh, we've already done these. I met the lady driver.
Okay.
He seems a little apprehensive.
Is it wise to share information about the case like this, sire?
No.
Telling him is a really bad idea. The lieutenant throws you a quick glance. What are you doing?
She shot herself. She slipped away. Don't worry. Yeah, that's it. Can't share anymore.
That's probably for the best. You keep your job to yourself. With a job like yours, you have to.
That's all. So, are we leaving? Like, are we not going to be coming back here, like, ever? Hi, Sealang. Let's say bye to everyone, I guess.
Wow!
Wow, what?
A cop limping down the street, bleeding from the shoulder, face bruised, looking like hell? You know what that is? Cool! That's cool!
He nods and settles back into the pile of boxes. Let's buy this.
Gotta prepare for springtime, right?
You find your...
Economical, but also...
We won't buy that $120 transceiver. We'll just use the free one that we bought.
Lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
It's $3.
A man who knows his style.
Should we get these? Yeah, alright. Fuck
Super
it.
cool. Now
Fuck
the
it.
premium lifestyle.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy.
What? Okay, now let me buy the speakers. 50 cents.
The junk is yours, officer. Happy listening. Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaran garbage.
Thanks. So reaction speed, hand-eye coordination. This one gives us authority. I really like that. I really like our authority. Alright, speakers. Why did you even buy those? There are no magic. Well, $30 if we sell them. Because we paid 50 cents for them. So we get a profit. So that almost pays for the shoes we just bought. Alright, let's do that. Actually, no, we'll leave it. I don't know, just in case we need them, maybe. I doubt it, but you know, we're in no rush. But what if we can't come back here? Oh my god. Surely the game will let us know if we can't come back here. Oh, let's check on Kuno.
Everyone says you started crying in the middle of a firefight and then bled like a pig. I guess that was cool.
Who's saying that? I guess that's true. Who's saying that?
People? They say you'd kind of died for a moment, that you let your shit out already, but then came back. So I guess that's what's cool now. Just don't think because you got half your dick shot off and you're an invalid now, Kuno's gonna treat you different. Kuno doesn't reward weakness. It's business as usual with Kuno. Kuno's cold like that.
What's more badass than dying and coming back to life, Kuno? Okay.
Watch out, pig. It's a dangerous world out there. But Kuno's got his eyes on you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Who knows?
Kuno starts doing the I got my eye on you gesture repeatedly. Alright, Kuno. What about you, you little psycho?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Alright, nothing new. Okay. Light the graffiti on fire with a burning cigarette. Where did our Molintum quest go? Oh wow, the lorry driver's not there. The racist lorry driver.
The boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Danger comes with the boyadario lifestyle, right? Yeah, I got shot, no big deal. It really hurts, manana. Pain. That's what your strike brought upon us. Danger comes with the boyadero lifestyle, right?
There are types of danger. The one I'm usually concerned with is lung cancer or getting mauled by wildlife, not bullets. It calls back to an older era where this was commonplace, though. You have a true boyadero heart.
Right, so where is everyone?
Hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or out, for the time being.
You can't help me get inside? What's going to happen next? You can't help me get inside?
No, man. Not today. Today is war.
He says it matter-of-factly, like it's no big deal.
What's going to happen next?
Time will tell. I'll tell Evrak you dropped by. I'm sure he'll be glad.
What will you be doing now?
I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Getting to like that red I am.
He surveys the red flags.
Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killers turn up. Then I'll run. And live.
I'm sure you'll do good. Try not to get shot, eh?
I'm sure I'll be luckier than you, friend.
Good talking to you. Gotta run. What about Measurehead? Oh, he's hiding like a little bitch. $1.
A lorry, the smell of cigarettes and perfume, welcomes you.
Remove the
cabin
radio
inside,
transceiver.
It takes a few moments, but eventually the transceiver slides from its greased socket mount with an eminently satisfying ching. Nearly the same sound produced by the action on a good breech loader. You can't fail to notice. As you take the transceiver in your hands, the lieutenant bites his lower lip, apparently deep in thought.
Funny, isn't it?
Yeah, sounds just like an old breech loader. What do you mean?
The lady driver used this same radio to evade coalition authorities, and now you are using it to contact them directly. It's just ironic, that's all.
Where the radio used to be, there's just a rectangular shadow now.
Examine the transceiver.
It's about the size of a small box of pasta, but much heavier. Now that you're looking at it more closely, You realize the various dials and meters make it look vaguely like a face. A distinctive triangular logo forms the nose. That's the mark of Estaaz Electronica, one of the major manufacturers of advanced radio equipment.
This has got to be better than your Dynawave. I doubt it.
An Esteras is certainly nothing to sniff at.
Okay.
But if you compare the feature sets, I would say they are more or less equivalent.
So you're not jealous? Fine, it appears we've reached the draw. That's okay, as long as it works. Fine, it appears we've reached the draw.
So it would appear.
Put the transceiver away. I'm a detective. I deduced that you are very small.
Come on, don't be silly. That's not a proper deduction.
She rolls her eyes. Alright. Essence. Long time no see.
Oh my god! Things have gotten out of hand! I thought the psychic stuff was bad, but the crime! It's even worse! I haven't been able to come to work for 3 days. The shop has been locked. No sales, gangbangers running around, shooting everyone. I know I shouldn't have bought a shop in this ghetto.
I'm the one who got shot here, ma'am.
Oh my god! Even the police can't take care of all of this. Just look at that limp. Someone should do something about this.
She rubs her pendant between two fingers, thinking.
Maybe I should close the bookstore and open a psychic studio. Yes! It makes sense. Crime is the 6th element, you see. The darkest element. I could teach people to protect themselves against bad energies and to fight crime.
Sounds like a plan. Life must go on after all. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think of it. A psychic studio? This is even worse than a bookstore in Martinaise. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think of it.
No, you're right, officer. You've convinced me. It is a great idea. Thank you for the inspiration. In the meantime, do buy the books. As many as you can. They won't be here for much longer. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I was going to say, why is it that everyone seems to just be like clinging to such ridiculous things, like the cryptozoologist with the Basmid and Placence with her mystic stuff, and I'm sure there are other people as well. And I just thought, is it kind of like a theme, like, you know, because everything is so grim and desperate, people are just clinging onto any little bit of hope that they can? Like, is that what it's trying to say? Like, no matter how ridiculous it is? I don't know. Step back, Lieutenant. Set the graffito on fire with a lit cigarette.
The fuel oil catches fire immediately with a low hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the lettering. The falling snow turns to vapor above the burning message, mingling with the black smoke.
Disco Elysium. You've been policed, Martinaise. God, I'm on my way. Say nothing. Stare grimly into the flames.
The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flames and nods silently. Then the fire falters. The flames warmed him too. Not at all in a bad way.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime.
Are you okay?
Mon Dieu! You set it on fire! What kind of a policeman are you?
A beacon of light in the dull shores of mediocrity. You're welcome, Martinaise. I don't know. It was an accident. I'm sorry. Policeman of the state yet to come. The herald of the apocalypse. The fuel oil was an environmental hazard. I had to get rid of it somehow. Policeman of the state yet to come.
Oh, okay. Well, I certainly have full confidence in your competence. And the future.
I found a radio transceiver.
Very good. Let's see what you have.
Someone was using this this to coordinate a drug smuggling operation. Use the highly advanced transceiver. I found this in an office by the harbour. Use the perfectly adequate. Use the highly advanced.
Interesting. An Esterhaus EH4, heavily customized. This is an advanced model, highly capable. I'll need to replace the frequency dial, but it should certainly work for our purposes.
She's impressed by your resourcefulness as much as by the equipment itself.
I believe that means we're ready to get started. I should warn you, once we begin setting up this antenna, we'll need to see the whole process through.
Okay.
There won't be any second chances, any do-overs. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything you'd like to get in order before we depart, I suggest you do it now.
Wait, didn't you say we need some kind of power supply? What kind of stuff should I get in order? Didn't you say we need some kind of power supply?
Ah, yes. I wasn't sure what to do about that, but then I discovered an abandoned power source down by the edge of the bay.
It's obvious. She's referring to your half-sunken Caprice 40.
You mean the motor carriage that I crashed into the bay? Ah, well, as long as it works, I don't need to know the details. You mean the motor carriage?
Oh, yes. I did notice that it was covered in police livery. Then you already know that the carriage itself is irreparable, but the rear-mounted engine seems to be in fine working order. My intention is to run a power cable from the engine up to the antenna. It won't last forever, but it should give us enough time to establish a connection with Coalition Warship Archer.
What kind of stuff should I get in order?
That's up to you. At a minimum, I would make sure you are physically and mentally prepared for an intense and difficult process. Once we begin, there can be no interruptions.
At the very least, you should make sure you're wearing a good pair of gloves.
I am.
Radio engineers typically carry overpriced solvent sprays to clean the antenna connections. But in a pinch, some common ammonia works just fine. Finally, there's the question of stimulants. Some people prefer to keep legal amphetamines on hand to help with their work. I'm not one of them, but they do exist.
I try to avoid drugs. Abusing stimulants is highly irresponsible. So this isn't the first time you've hung around speed freaks, is it? I try to avoid drugs.
I don't take them because they make me nauseous. But everyone has their reasons. I don't judge.
Hang on, I need some time to prepare.
That's fine. Return to me when you're ready to go.
Alright, contact Coalition Warship Archer. Okay, I want to speak with Lillian first to see if we can get that date. I doubt it, but because Kim is with us, but I want to at least try, you know? I think we need suggestion for that, so let's put some suggestion clothes on. Alright, let's have a look.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
You're not limping. You're you. She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
You seem angry. Why? I got shot in the foot. It was pretty badass. You would have liked it. I'm a cop. I don't merely exist in this world. I live in the between life and death. Some people hurt me. I wanted to talk to you about something. Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You should see the other guys. 2 dead, 1 in the hospital.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. Better than being dead.
Most cops are killers. I was a killer long before this happened. I'm not a killer, I'm a cop. Scoff in a masculine manner. Most cops are killers.
Aye, I bet they are. The good ones, at least.
I have a question for you.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
Fucking hell. She needs to go on a date with another drunk badly.
Oh, yes, you need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
I want to be close to you, and there's but one way to intimacy. Oh my god, let's just say that.
What?
Drunk date, tap on your throat. All I need is booze, the rest will follow. Oh my god. Can we back out? No.
Funny sailor jokes. Sorry if I'm not laughing out loud, but the comedy has worn thin over the years.
Great. Now you reminded her of the husband. It's okay. She just hasn't figured out how these things work between the sexes. Keep at it. She'll come around.
Oh my god. Alright, be seeing you. Fucking hell. I got shot.
Aye. Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman. We've got troubles of our own here. Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen.
This is no time for jokes. Can't you see I'm in pain? I guess you were right. The men with guns were coming for me after all.
I'm not sure those were the last of the men with guns either. There are always more coming for your kind, officer.
Then we'll be ready for them.
Man, you're like bleeding now.
Hey, sorry.
Reality's really messed you up.
Hey, sorry for being a buzzkill earlier. I'll supply the booze if you'll supply the stories.
Wonderful.
I've got this blue medicinal spirit. How about that?
No. Contrary to popular belief, I enjoy being alive.
Alright, geez, I already gave you some. Okay.
Then I can't keep on telling the stories.
That's the booze our tie wanted us to keep a hold of, but we're not wearing our tie, so yeah. I'm trying to keep us on the straight and narrow, you know. Oh, that's yellow now. Does that mean we can actually do something with it? Let's have a look. No. No, still no. Okay. I do check it every time I pass it. Alright, let's contact this Warship Archer. I'm ready now. Let's contact Archer.
Very good. If you'll help me with some of this equipment then.
Back across the water lab. At least we are getting our exercise in today.
If you'll please carry that amplifier, officer. And if you'll take that spool of cable, we should be able to move it all in one trip. And now if you'll just connect that here...
It's done. I believe we are ready.
The lieutenant wipes his brow.
We're ready to try at least. Please put on these headphones. There should be 2 extra sets. I've configured the channels so that only your microphone is set to broadcast, officer. We'll all be able to listen, but anyone we reach will only hear your voice. You will need to transmit your connection request while I attempt to locate the warship's public frequency. You will likely encounter some interference, but it's important to keep transmitting your request until you're acknowledged. Ready?
Wait, what if they never acknowledge me? Yes, not yet. What if they never acknowledge me?
Then it will be exactly like every other moment of every other day. I ask again, are you ready?
Yes.
Beginning transmission.
A soft rustling between your ears, a winterscape with fast falling snow.
Where's the sound coming from?
Every light switch, every motor carriage, every doorbell, tea kettle, and radio in Martinaise, all mingled with electrical interference caused by scattered thunderstorms over Ozon.
Officer, are you in order? We're waiting for you to start.
What should I say? Coalition Warship Archer. This is RCM Officer Tequila Sunset. Please acknowledge. Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Harriet Dubois of the RCM. Please acknowledge.
You're all alone out there, wandering a blasted heath, calling out to the night. But there is no reply, except for the buzzing of invisible machines. The lieutenant looks up at you with a nervous glance. Nervous for who, though? You cannot say.
Try again, officer.
Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Dubois. Please acknowledge.
Nein, Liebling. Unseren Jungen nach Redeposten. Einem dieser Dinger.
Hello, Archer, do you acknowledge?
Marianne hat mir erzählt, dass Oscar nicht mehr derselbe ist, seit er auf einem Luftschiff aus Graz zurückgekommen ist. Natürlich halten wir die Psychologen.
Something about her son going to Revachol on an aerostatic to see some psychologists. Or maybe it's the psychologists saying it's normal to have feelings for strangers. Foreign languages were never your strong suit.
What does this remind me of?
The rustling of dry autumn leaves, waves breaking at a distance, 1,000 wings beating at once. It's just like that woman in the electronic doorbell, the circuit ghost.
Yep.
It's strangely comforting to think of these voices traveling through the air until you capture them, firefly-like, with your little metal antenna.
Sooner, I think there are ghosts in this radio.
Liebling, bitte. Er ist unser einziges Kind. Er kann auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen.
Not ghosts, officer. Crosstalk. You have to keep trying until
I wasn't
we get a
being
signal
literal. Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Dubois. If you're there, Archer, please acknowledge.
Again?
Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Dubois. Do you acknowledge?
It's cold now. A slight frisson at the point where your neck meets your spine. Something about the lieutenant's words directed at you, but not you.
Kim, don't clog my connection. What are you talking about, Kim? It's perfectly nice out.
I didn't say anything, Detective.
Someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
An uncomfortable silence falls over the connection.
It's been a long winter. Long and cold.
Are you going to tell me you didn't say that either? Maybe it's your twin brother. Are you going to tell me you didn't say that either?
I promise you I didn't, even though it certainly sounds like me.
The lieutenant seems to wince at the sound of his own voice. What is happening?
I can't say with certainty, but it sounds very much like entroponetic crosstalk. It happens sometimes when sending transmissions across long stretches of pale.
Ah, yes, of course. That must be it.
Pale, 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 pale. Seems to be missing from your records.
Yeah.
Natürlich halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal.
Maybe we should try again later. So what can we do about it?
What else is there to do? Keep trying.
Coalition Warship Archer, do you acknowledge? This is Lieutenant Dubois.
But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Dubois, please acknowledge.
Archer, this is Lieutenant Dubois. Can you hear me?
Liebling, bitte. Er ist unser einziges Kind. Warship Archer, please identify.
The signals are getting increasingly mixed. Plucking Archer's signal from this will be like isolating a single strand from a tangle of hair.
It's not working. The crosstalk is simply too strong.
What can we do?
I did not expect simply locating the signal to be so difficult.
She appears to be concentrating very intently.
We must consider several variables. Local entroponetic conditions, the sophistication of our transceiver, the quality of our connections, and the physics of our antenna itself. Fortunately, we have a more than adequate transceiver, so I do not believe it is causing any problems.
Cool.
And we're also unlikely to change our local entroponetic conditions. So, the next step is to thoroughly inspect our connections.
Lucky I looked at that car. I was just looking around one final time to, yeah. How am I supposed to inspect the connections?
You need to climb up there and look at them for yourself.
She stares at you as though it were obvious. Her hand gestures to the colourful cables dangling from the horse's four hooves.
But you don't have the technical expertise.
Someone has been maintaining it.
No problem at all. You've already teleported up way greater heights. Something about this setup seems dimly familiar, but you'll be damned if you know what you're supposed to do about it. Images of your body smashed against the pavement flood your mind. This is dangerous.
Oh god, but I don't know what I'm doing. No problem, I've already mastered the art of teleportation. But what if I slip and fall? But I don't know what I'm doing.
That's true, but I can't leave my station, so it will have to be you.
But what if I slip and fall?
Then you might break your neck.
Okay, let's do this. Alright, we put some points into hand-eye coordination. Maybe that'll help, hopefully. God, how are you gonna get down? How are you gonna get down?
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar.
Okay.
This feels pleasingly familiar. You don't exactly cut a lithesome figure, but after several moments of scrambling, you manage to hoist yourself atop the monument.
Oh my god, how are we gonna get down?
That performance was frankly an embarrassment.
That was pretty bad. I hope nobody saw it. Examine the connections. Well, we didn't fall.
The connection itself is nothing more than a little braid of exposed wire wrapped about the hoof of the horse. A copper fetter, it cannot slip. Truth be told, you have no idea what you're looking for. It just looks like a cord attached to a piece of metal. You pick at the colorful rubber jacketing, not sure what else to do.
Well, do you see anything?
The connections look fine to me.
I sincerely doubt that's the case, but there's nothing I can do about it from down here. I should have cleaned them beforehand. How foolish. Short of changing the shape of the antenna, I'm not sure what else we can do from here. And the lorries are all jammed together, so that's unlikely to happen.
What would changing the shape of the antenna do? How do we change the shape of the antenna? What would it do?
Ideally, narrow the receiving mode so that we can isolate the warship signal and eliminate the crosstalk. But if you don't know what you're doing, of course you could just make it worse.
How do we change the shape of the antenna?
What do you mean? You adjust the antenna manually, with your hands. I'm afraid we're out of alternatives. You're just going to have to go for it.
She's right. The responsibility is yours, and yours alone. There's no turning back now.
Alright, we should be able to pass this. Look at Philippi III.
You are face to face with Philip III. The Bronze King looks toward the west. Something about his features seems bizarrely distorted. Not intentionally. It's a matter of perspective. The king was never meant to be seen from such an angle as you've attained.
Look at the horse.
This faithful steed is in nearly as poor a condition as its rider.
Look up.
A clear sky. The kind of day where anything might happen. Across the river, you can see Coalition Warship Archer tracing its gradual circuit above Revachol East.
Look down.
A few of the idle lorry drivers and strikebreakers gesture at you with their cigarettes, more out of curiosity than anything else. From the window of one of the adjacent apartment buildings, an older woman leans out. her heavy breasts sagging. She yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk.
Alright. Godly. And tap to narrow the receiving mode manually. What? Fuck! Shit. Right.
You allow the broken hunk of metal to clatter to the ground. It wasn't clear to you it did anything anyway.
Nein, Liebling! What are you doing? The connection is even worse now. This is extremely unprofessional.
That piece of junk didn't even work. I'm sorry, I was trying to do good. It's not my fault the statue broke. That piece of junk didn't even work.
That is because you broke it. Things stop working when you break them. Or did you not know that?
She's right. This was your responsibility.
Damn it. I'm going to push the power supply. I doubt it will last more than a few minutes, so you'd better make them count.
A maelstrom of sound, swirling and swirling around an invisible point. It's mounting. Mounting.
Nicht mehr derselbe ist, seit auf einem Luftschiff aus Grab zurückgekommen ist. Lieutenant Dubois, please respond.
It's too much. Your eardrums are throbbing, about to burst.
A long winter, long and cold.
And then, nothing.
Drive now.
Coalition Warship Archer, this is Lieutenant Harriet Dubois of the RCM. Please acknowledge.
This is Warship Archer. We are acknowledging and accepting you. Though we're still getting quite a bit of interference.
This is the best we can do. I suggest you get to your business quickly. I doubt I'll be able to maintain even this connection very long.
This is it. You're finally getting to speak with those who hold real power.
Alright.
And by that they mean the ones with the guns and the warships. There is so much you wish you could ask, but you probably only have time for 1 or 2 questions before the signal is lost.
Okay.
Please be advised that you are speaking on a public frequency. What is your request?
Who am I speaking with? What does Revachol look like from up there? What does the moral interim really want? When is real democracy coming to Revachol? Listen, I really need to reach the Committee of Responsibility. What does the moral intern really want?
A very important question with a very simple answer. We want humanity to endure. Beyond that, it may be said that we are the inheritors and stewards of Dolores Day's legacy.
Right, and that legacy is...
immeasurable. It includes interstellar travel, 3 scientific revolutions, humanism, internationalism, the welfare state, and balance of terror theory. Nothing less than the intellectual foundation of our modern order. The role of the Moralist International is twofold: to buy humanity sufficient time to perfect itself, and to patiently guide it along the road while protecting it from ideological highwaymen and eschatologists.
What is this balance of terror theory? Yeah, I'm interested in that. In what sense is the moral intern the steward of Dolores Day's legacy? Who are the highwaymen and Estherologians you mentioned? Where does the RCM fit into all of this? What awaits us at the end of the road? Oh my god. How many? Oh. Who are the highwaymen?
There are many. The communists say they are the next dialectical step in an inexorable spiral of progress. They claim to have resolved the inherent contradictions of moralism and believe they're just one revolution away from establishing a humanist paradise. The fascists say they are both the ancestors of and the successors to the Loyalism. In other words, they believe that Dolores Day's reign simply represents a glorious phase of expansion within a greater Franco-Nigerian heritage, They criticize the DeLorean project for accepting and integrating new peoples rather than forcefully subjugating them. And then there are our prodigal cousins, the Vazan Social Democrats, who hold our same values and have even adopted many of our same rights and iconography, though they persist in rejecting the umbrella of moralism.
For some reason, it's the Social Democrats she sounds most exasperated with.
Why do you resent Social Democrats more than communists and fascists? Are there non-ideological threats to humanity? Why do you resent Social Democrats?
We don't resent them. It's more that we are disappointed that they have chosen to emphasize certain points of dispute over broad areas of accord.
She speaks of them like a family member she's abandoned hope of ever maturing.
But of course, they also remain dependable partners in a number of centrist governing coalitions.
What is this balance of terror theory?
It's an elegant idea, one of the cornerstones of the modern era. In short, it holds that durable, lasting peace is possible when the major powers are capable of inflicting unacceptable and irreversible destruction upon one another. Because no rational state is willing to accept the risk of such a calamity befalling its own people. All powers are incentivized to de-escalate conflicts before they reach the point of no return.
And has it worked? But what if states aren't rational?
A state is like any other living thing. It wants to survive and grow. A state that doesn't value its own existence is not a state at all.
Where does the RCM fit into all of this?
The RCM exists under the umbrella of the coalition, just as the coalition exists under the umbrella of the moral intent. At the same time, the RCM is not exactly of the coalition.
What do you mean it's not of the coalition? You mean because of the decompartage? What do you mean it's not of the coalition?
It's our understanding that the RCM's organizational structure predates the coalition. We believe it may even be modeled after the communal brigades themselves.
There is some truth to that.
The lieutenant whispers into his headset.
But in a practical sense, it's the responsibility of the ethics divisions to ensure that both organizations are working towards the same end.
So you're saying the RCM is a vestige of Revachol's communist past? Why bother with the RCM at all? Can't the coalition just run everything itself? Yeah.
Because the coalition has no interest in running Revachol. We'll succeed in our own mission the moment Revachol rejoins the international community as a sovereign democracy. The RCM is an integral piece of that project.
In what sense is the moral intern the steward of Dolores Day's legacy?
It was established by many of the same founding party members who elected Dolores Day, and who, after her assassination, dedicated their lives to the continuation of her political and intellectual projects.
What awaits us at the end of the road?
Let us answer your question with a question. Have you ever seen evening fall over the old town of Warship?
Maybe. I've been forgetting things lately. No, I haven't.
The heart of the city, the old town, is a district composed of weathered marble, comprising thousands of columns and arcades arranged around a series of grand plazas. During the day, it's a beautiful sight, equal to any of the great cities of Pericarnassus. But as the sun sets, the shadows cast by those columns and arcades weave together to form an intricate ombre and lattice. When you see it, you suddenly understand. It was all built for you, for this very moment.
The name Advesperaskit means evening comes.
Built for me? Built by whom?
By thousands of people over many centuries, in keeping with a precise plan each believed in, but never expected to see the final completion of. Not only that, but you are also part of that centuries-long plan. When you cross one of the open plazas, your own shadows is effortlessly woven into the great lattice work, a deliberate synthesis of humanity, art, and the natural world.
Beautiful, impossible, beautiful.
Yes, it is. We grew up there. We have seen the lattice with our own eyes.
Where is Advesperaskit exactly?
In Messina, of course. Not only was it the site of Dolores Day's crowning, it was also one of the great cities of the DeLorean era, a glorious expression of humanity's highest potential. Of course, such a city does not spring from nowhere, nor does it endure without effort. Its construction was the work of many generations, and its preservation is an equally monumental responsibility.
How much does humanity need to achieve its potential? How much time does humanity need to achieve its potential? Yeah, how much time?
About 3,000 years.
That sounds like a very long time. That sounds like an impossibly long time. 3,000 years is just the blink of an eye. We need much more than that. That sounds about right, actually. That sounds about right, actually.
It is, in all senses, the most moderate and reasonable projection possible based on current science.
I'm not joking, officer. I'll only be able to hold the signal open for a few more moments. What you came here to ask it now.
Is everything alright?
Who am I speaking with? What does Revachol look like from up there? What is real democracy? When is real democracy coming to Revachol?
We can assure you, it is coming as soon as possible.
In a few months then? Within a couple of years? Surely within my lifetime?
Oh, most likely. Though, of course, it depends on the contingency.
What do you mean contingencies?
You must understand, the moral intern is responsible for ensuring the continuance and flourishing of mankind for the next 3,000 years. The planning division must account for a great many possible outcomes and chance events. Fortunately, we have contingency spreads to help guide our decision-making. Of course, there is no one spread that can reasonably account for all these possible events. But at least, we're able to prepare for the most likely eventualities.
Wait, how do these contingency spreads actually work?
It's not really our area of expertise, but we can try to explain. Picture a smooth hill made from fresh dirt. Now, if you stand atop this hill and put a glass of water over it, what will happen?
The dirt will get wet. I won't have any water. The water will run down the hill. The dirt will get wet.
You're thinking about this metaphor too literally. The point is that we know only that the water will run down, but not what course it will take. If we place a rock in the water's path, will it divert to the left or to the right? We cannot say, but we may predict which way it might run in either event.
For some reason, I assumed that it'll just collapse. That's where I thought it was going.
That is the essence of the idea. You might also imagine these spreads as a kind of tree, with every juncture representing a different event, and every branch representing a different timeline.
I'm stressed that we're not going to get enough time. You're saying the moral intern uses contingency spreads to see the future?
Not exactly. No one can know the future. But with contingency spreads, it is possible to predict what the future realities might reasonably look like.
Meaning, there are more and less reasonable futures. You should follow up on that.
But we shouldn't overstate their importance. They are simply one of many tools used by the moral intern to set policy.
Oh my god, hold on. Does that mean some realities are less reasonable than others?
Well, yes. Just as some events are less probable than others. While we expect the vast majority of realities will fall within a normal confidence interval, there must necessarily be some that fall outside that range as well.
This is a lot to take in. Would you say the reality we're living in is more or less reasonable than others?
Who are we to say? We are only a second signaler, not a metaphysician. This is the only reality we have ever known. So, how can we judge how reasonable it might be compared to any other? The key, we believe, is to be open to meaning, even amidst great uncertainty. But now, we are only speaking for ourselves.
So where does Revachol fit into these contingencies?
That's impossible to say. It may be that Revachol has a great role to play, or no role at all. That is the nature of contingency. You must understand, when we speak of contingency spreads, we are talking about the most fantastically complex data visualization human beings are capable of producing, with thousands of events, from elections and wars to natural disaster or scientific miracles, and millions of possible outcomes.
It makes your brain swell just to think about it.
It may be the case that, under certain scenarios, Revachol is vitally important, as it was during the collision landings in 2008. It may also be the case, in many other equally plausible scenarios, that Revachol is simply another once great city, like countless others throughout history.
History loves to rhyme. I'll bet Revachol has its day again. Look around. Yeah, this is definitely a place whose time has passed. Why does thinking about these contingencies make me feel so bad?
It's completely natural. Studies have shown that the untrained mind is only capable of considering so many possibilities in place at once, usually no more than 3 or 4. For this reason, responsibility for developing contingency spreads is only assigned to highly trained analysts working with advanced radio computers and a steady supply of drones.
Okay, but I still want to know when real democracy is coming. How do I access my personal contingency spread? Enough of this, I have another question. I still want to know when real democracy is coming.
Of course. While the content of individual contingency spreads is deeply classified, many degrees beyond our access, everything we have heard from the Provisional Commission indicates that the transition is proceeding according to the appropriate timetable.
Does that mean democracy is here? But what if some people want democracy to come faster?
Of course, the coalition supports the Revacholian people's desire for full democracy. We encourage you to contact the offices of the Provisional Commission if you're serious about getting involved.
Half of that is extremely admirable. How can I get involved? But what if I want real democracy, like right now? How can I get involved?
Oh, there are many things you can do. If you're interested in learning how to canvass for signatures, manage the polling place, or register voters, the Commission would be more than happy to direct you to a workshop. In fact, you may have picked the perfect time to get involved. Revachol is nearly ready to begin the first phase of democratization. Soon, the people of Revachol will vote for slates of candidates who will make up the Transitional Advisory Council that will oversee the second phase of democratization.
I'm getting deja vu. It's really weird. What's this Transitional Advisory Council? Who picks the slates of candidates? How many of these phases are there until we have real democracy? What's this Transitional Advisory Council?
The council is modeled after similar bodies developed in a number of transitional democracies. Its role is to devise and shape the future institutions of Revacholian democracy, according to local conditions.
Local conditions, in this case, referring to incompetence, graft, and violence.
Once elected, council members will even have the opportunity to join one of several officially sanctioned political wings, depending on their ideological beliefs and policy preferences.
What do these wings represent?
A very important question. The wings are carefully selected to represent a wide spectrum of political thought. Typically, there's a liberal technocratic wing, a social democratic wing, and even a conservative populist wing. You wouldn't believe some of the ideas they express, but a vibrant and free political culture requires that all perspectives be given voice, even those many may find objectionable.
Who picks the slates of candidates?
In most cases, the Provisional Council selects them from a cross-section of the local population to ensure the slates actually reflect the people they represent. Of course, such a situation is not ideal. We would all prefer for Revacholians to nominate the representatives directly, but that is why it's a transitional council.
How many of these phases are there until we have real democracy?
Our best theoreticians believe that 3 to 5 phases are appropriate for states that lack strong democratic traditions, which would certainly apply to Revachol. But we must stress that real democracy is an ongoing process and not simply an outcome. It must be cultivated and preserved if it is to endure.
Like the city of Avesperacit, you mean?
Esattamente.
It's been a long winter, long and cold.
Be advised, officer. The signal is liable to fail any moment now.
Lieutenant Dubois, are you there?
Hang on, Archer. I meant to ask you about the commitment of responsibility.
Lieutenant Dubois, please repeat. Your signal is very weak.
I said I meant to ask you about the committee of responsibility.
Nothing important. Bad connection. Going to update the receiver frequency.
And the line goes quiet.
Why didn't we start with that?
The lieutenant gives a long sigh as he removes his headphones. He looks up at you.
I think it's best for you to climb off the statue now, Detective. Your real work is done here.
Just give me a minute. Yeah, you're right. Just give me a minute.
There's a damp cold running up the insides of your thighs. Your legs have grown stiff. You've been up here quite a while. You look around. The strikebreakers are still shouting their slogans and waving their hand-painted signs. Beneath you, the lieutenant and the programmer have begun disconnecting a few cables. There's really no point. You're beginning to feel like the little child who refuses to come down off the carousel.
Climb down.
Good. Now give me a hand with these amplifiers. Leave the cables. I don't feel like making 2 trips.
What's one more trip across the waterlock?
Well, this was an interesting collaboration.
We make a pretty good team, Suna. What do you think? Could I make it as a radio engineer? We make a pretty good team.
Really? I do not think we were all that successful. But maybe the RCM has a different definition of success.
Okay, Suna.
In any event, just leave that equipment here. I'll put it away later. If you'd like, you can take one of the extra headsets. I don't need so many spares. Now you'll excuse me. I have to get back to my own work.
Find the murder weapon. That might be on the island, maybe? Alright, let's call our station. Let's put on some esprit de corps clothes. That might help with our conversations with our colleagues, you know? If we even have any. Alright, time to humiliate
Inside,
ourselves.
you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone,
Alright,
a pull-out toolbox, and the soft...
Pick up the radio.
Precinct 57, how may I assist you?
Please connect me to the 31st again. Oh, Precinct 57, we've been attacked. I repeat, Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi and...
Something is wrong. Only static hisses through the speaker.
Hello?
No reply. Only the mindless drone of static crawling through the air.
It's been this way for a while now. My guess is the Union is listening in on our conversations and jamming outward communications to protect themselves from Cronel. It only happens when someone mentions the attack. The rest is unaffected. Our best bet is to carry on like nothing happened. That is, if we don't want us cut off the grid completely.
Okay, isn't that dangerous?
No more dangerous than stepping between 3 armed mercenaries and 8 Union men, I hope.
I guess.
I don't like it either, but that's the way it is. The street seems safe enough to me. If anything, taking out the mercs made things calmer. For now.
He flicks off the radio, silence.
You can try calling again. Just don't mention the tribunal. And remember, they are listening in.
Alright.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
This is Precinct 57, how may I assist you?
Alice, please connect me to the 41st again.
Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
I'm happy to report that I have found my badge, Jules.
10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over.
Listen, I've actually lost my gun too. This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss. Jules, I've heard that some people think of me as La Puta Madre's peon. Do you think I'm corrupt? This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information.
You mean you can't tell me anything about me? But I'm me, understood.
10-4. Anything else, sir? Over.
Jules, I've heard that some people think of me as a La Puta Madre's peon. Do you think I'm corrupted?
10-4, sir. Well, there's been some talk, sir.
He finally says reluctantly, some talk? What does it even mean that there's some talk? Do you think I'm corrupt or not? Do they think I'm corrupt or not? Does it mean people know that I'm a dirty cop? Because I am. I'm the dirtiest, most dangerous cop in Revachol. My reputation precedes me. I want you to know that I would never, ever do anything like that. I'm not taking bribes, Jules. Do they think I'm corrupt or not?
I only meant that there's been some talk in the station, that's all. But there's always some talk in the station. You know how officers in Jamrock are. But then again, some of us truly are on the take. It's unfortunate. Over.
I don't know if I should tell them we lost our gun. I don't want to. Okay, let's go to this island, I guess.
What's on your mind, officer?
We need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tide just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your boat? 2 days of sunshine? I just got a bacterial infection. What's on that island? I saw some kind of ruins through the binoculars.
Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
You said you hadn't been there yourself. Who has then, if not you?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Aren't they like really young? Is there anything I should know about getting there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
2 days of sunshine? I just got a bacterial infection.
I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here. Be sad to lose the first one.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back. And no scraping the hull. We just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
Nod along attentively. What if I want to rock? Nod.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Thank you. We'll use your skiff to get there then.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Be seeing you. Alright, let's talk to the kids.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Okay, kids, you've been to that island, right?
On that island?
The one who's busy kicking his stones points to the bay. Yes, that one. I need to know what's there. No, some other island. Of course, that one. Yes, I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war. But this could be important.
Yes. Wait, you mean shells?
I don't know what these are.
Yeah. What then?
They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Someone lives on the island? You mentioned something about lights? Your father used to go to that island too, didn't he? Someone lives on the island?
No.
Vehement, shaking his head vehemently.
Yes.
His brother looks at him, then at you.
Let's go with yes.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows and whips out his notebook. Why is he the fire guy?
Because he asks to put the fire out.
Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
The other one adds laconically, standing with his hands glued to his sides like a little tin soldier. You mentioned something about lights?
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
He points to the street light.
Yes.
The boy looks at his toes. Is there anything else you can tell me about this guy? Age? Does he live there?
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know.
They say it almost in unison. How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Your father used to go to that island too, didn't he?
Our father killed himself. Don't say that, he didn't.
The boy punches him. The boy's eyes well up like he's about to start crying. Your father did not kill himself. He killed himself, all right. I can't remember. I remember he was in an accident. Maybe. I'm not going to say anything.
I'm sorry.
The one says to the other, rubbing his brother's shoulder affectionately. Oh. Is that all you know? Is there anything more you can tell me about the island? The boy says, rubbing his eyes. It's clear he has no intention of finishing the sentence.
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Children are stupid, no. Bye kids, take care. Alright, nearly leveled up, 5 more points. Should we go back in here just quickly, just to have a final look?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Time to shave. Get these mutton chops off.
Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly.
Feel your clean shaven cheeks. Hope this was the right decision. Feel your clean shaven cheeks.
They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath.
Was shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional.
Well, that's good.
Your face, such as it is, a regular human face, sans expression.
Okay, well that's good. Cool. Look at our little profile pictures changed. No mirror. Oh, is that? That's not the mirror, is it?
An old mirror.
Oh, here we go. Alright, we've already done that. Alright, cool. Hi, Kim. Look at me.
Yes?
Oh, so I shaved.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at your shaven face, his eyes narrowed. He coughs. What is it? You can tell me, Kim. I know. Stunning, right? I knew I shouldn't shave. I knew it, and I still did it. What an idiot. What an idiot. What is it? You can tell me, Kim.
I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the...
Yeah, damage. He means damage.
I like a little bit of facial hair.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Alright. Nothing. Alright, let's go on the boat.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now?
Yeah, what else
Have
are
you
we
made all
gonna
the
do?
necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
I'm pretty sure we've done everything. Oops. Yeah, I think that would be on the island. Can't do that. I don't know where a brush is. That we might find the helmet here. And I think we need to go to the island for that. I was just going through all the people that we've met, and the dice maker came to mind. We don't need to see her, surely. I really don't want to go all that way back. I'm really upset that we didn't get to finish off Klaasje's things. I wanted to look at her in the eyes, and I wanted to do that drama check as well with her. I'm pretty bummed out about that we couldn't do that. And the date, hopefully we might still be able to go on that date, maybe. I don't know how far away from the end we are. We're just gonna go, there's nothing else to do. You take the engine, Kim, I'll hold the boombox. Get in and ride to the island.